The batteries are really good though.
I've tried to take 3 months.
4 or 5 times. And I got their
Oh, no.
I told you that I was doing it.
You guys ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Tripped and fell into it.
Yeah.
Do it, Queenie.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. Will all please rise for the pledge of allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Next on the agenda is the roll call. Jamie, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Queenie Mars.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson.
Here.
Trustee Janice Bryan. Trustee Manning.
Here.
Trustee Richard Topar.
Here.
Trustee Brent McWhirter.
Here.
Trustee Ed Hallow. Student Liaison Carrie McGee.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we will continue on. Next is the approval of the agenda, and I will entertain a motion.
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Seconded.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Brent McWhirter and a second by Trustee Richard Toker to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sound. Motion carries. Next is the approval of the minutes of January 10th, 2024, and I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes for January 10th, 2024 as presented by staff.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Richard Toker and a second by Trustee Brent McWhirter to approve the minutes of January 10th, 2024 as presented by staff. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sound. Motion carries. Next is audience business. And audience business, be aware that we cannot make any decisions during audience business, and you have 5 minutes to speak. I have a Katie McClure. That first whole section goes fast.
Hi, I'm Katie McClure. I live at 6554 Road 41. I'm here wearing my Make Us United hat. Just here to give you a quick update on the Community Hub feasibility study. So as background, in response to community interest in services ranging from childcare to a tractor share, we did a survey that suggested strong interest in doing something of the sort of like a community hub or community center. As a result of that, Make Us United has offered to do a feasibility study. This includes a market opportunity study, financial feasibility, and very detailed site selection report. All of that would be available to the general public and all of you when it's completed. Many local individuals and businesses have already contributed and kind of voted with their pocketbook to say, let's do this. We have a $1 matching grant from the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority, and we only have $4,700 left to raise. So as soon as that money is raised, we can begin the study, and we think it'll take somewhere between 3 and 6 months to do. We wanted to be sure that you, the town, and anybody in Mancos knew they have the opportunity to be part of this financially, especially if it feels like something that would be beneficial to your responsibilities or to others in the town. And any amount you might consider contributing up to the total $4,700 would be very much appreciated. Certainly not expected. It's just an invitation. We want to make sure that we're public about what's needed and who can contribute. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda is announcements. Heather, do you have any announcements?
I do. I have a couple of announcements to have. So wireless internet. we've been talking about that for a while. And it's taken us so long to figure out how to make that work. That there is now a locally owned company in Vegas who can and is willing to provide wireless internet to the entire town. So I am nagging that much. I am not going to spend any more town time or dollars on it, because if the opportunity is available, the last thing that we want to do as a government is compete with our citizens and our businesses. The overall broadband and high-speed internet project, not big. We still need redundancy, we still need infrastructure, but the wireless component with the plant and the airport property, no longer on the table. So what I will be doing is working with Jason, because he's kind of our lead on all things broadband and all things wireless. If and when a grant opportunity comes up to partner with the county or partner with Cortez or whatever it is, the money that we have allocated, not restricted, but allocated toward the wireless project, I will be coming to you and saying, we have this grant opportunity, we need to partner with them, and here's the money that we have for this project. That I wanted to let you all know that, because it's something we've been talking about for a long time, and no decisions have been made in engineering, hadn't been done and that kind of thing, but it is something that you have been hearing about for a while. So I wanted to let you know that staff is not going to actively work on heading up a project like that any longer, because we have a locally owned private business. You know, we'll still talk to them and work with them and that kind of thing, but we're not going to build infrastructure and put out big ISPs. We've got someone doing that. We have officially settled $422,000. There is a legal signed and notarized executed settlement agreement. So you will receive a staff report and a copy of that agreement in the next board packet as an FYI. You're able to ask questions. Negotiation is not open for discussion. So the back and forth and all that, we won't be talking about that at a public meeting, but you will get a synopsis of the project and a copy of the final agreement, because that is public record, and I want you all to see it and know, and that way if anybody has any questions, you have information that you can provide to them. I'm going to let you go last, because I think yours is the one everybody wants to hear. Carrie, do you want to give an update on anything? Maybe?
The water plant, we're still in holding pattern, waiting on the Great Plains structures.
Waiting on what? Say that again?
So the platform's on hold?
What does that mean?
The remodel, it's done, backfilled, ready to go.
So we're just waiting for the tank?
The tank's there, we're just waiting for Great Plains structures to show up, to put it all together.
Oh, so,
Okay.
They the ones with the crane, or what's the?
It's kind of like scaffolding. They do the roof, they do one ring, and then they jack it up, they do another ring, jack it up, do another ring.
Okay. All right.
and this is the glass lined one, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Any issues with like weather, mud or snow that's gonna get in our way in the next couple months?
It's gonna be possible.
Okay. Figured.
Get out my farmer's almanac and check.
Last week it was a week to 2 weeks.
So it should be here in 4 weeks.
They were in Minnesota. When they get down there, then they were in Park. We were their next stop.
Our weather's a lot nicer than Minnesota.
Tentatively, maybe 2 4 weeks.
Depends on Minnesota's weather. Which is not a good thing in winter.
It was what, 35 below there last week?
Something like that.
Jason, do you want to give any announcements?
Yeah, just want to let you guys know, I got appointed for a 1-year term to the Montezuma County Planning Subcommission. Nice
Oh,
work.
sweet.
So, just like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were in class 4, and I was like, oh.
I wanted to go.
Hard to do that.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, election update?
So as of Monday, 5 p.m., we have 5 seats open, 4 petitions were turned in, 1 for mayor and 3 trustees. We do have until the next Monday, the 29th, for write-ins. So by 5 p.m. on then, if we have not received write-ins, at least 2, we will not be hosting an election. And the first meeting in February, I will be here with a resolution to cancel the election and to just appoint the candidates who turned in petitions.
So just to be really clear on that, but Monday the 29th at 5 p.m., they have until then to get you a
Not a write-in.
Yeah.
No, just a write-in.
Just a write-in.
They don't need signatures, not a
Well, that's
And it
hard.
just
Are you
takes one
serious?
write-in, right?
Why did we do it early?
That's our election law.
So wait.
I'm sorry, it's not the town. It's state law.
How does someone
Seriously?
So how does someone become a write-in? They just show up and say, I want to be a write-in?
No, they have to do it.
better.
Yeah.
They what?
have to actually have like an affidavit letter, letter of support type thing.
Okay.
Notarized.
So if we get no write-in
Wow.
notifications, then what happens?
Then our election is canceled and the candidates who did turn in petitions will be appointed by you guys.
And if we don't have, I mean, we're obviously going to have
And we will be a
quorum,
seat short, and so then after the election, on April 2nd, you can appoint, again, if someone writes a letter of intent, you can appoint for the position. And then if that doesn't happen, we go into a special election, and I will be leading on David heavily on that.
We'll figure it out.
I like where this is headed. Yeah. Okay.
So, there
Thanks,
you
Sharon.
go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens.
Yes.
At this point,
Every day.
at this point, we're just waiting for affidavits of intent to write.
Yes. And so after the 29th, I will know for sure
Okay.
whether or not we will be hosting an election.
Okay.
So, and I,
No, but that was a 60.
yes, and I do want to make it clear, I did find out because I checked with our attorney and I checked with the election guru for the state. But if you are term limited, you cannot be appointed.
Oh, same rules apply. Yeah.
Yes.
How long do they have to be out of office before?
4 years.
4 years.
Oh, okay.
Now, they can go for, mayor positions, if that's something different.
Huh,
Level up.
But
go figure.
you cannot be
Yeah.
a trustee if they are a trustee or as mayor. You have to sit out for 4.
And that only applies, that rule applies in Maine. It may not apply to other municipalities. Because Cortez, for example, doesn't have a separate office for mayor. They elect their council, and the council appoints the mayor. Here, mayor is a separate office for the trustee. So a term limited mayor has to sit out for 4 years in order to be mayor. A term limited trustee has to sit out for 4 years in order to be a trustee.
Right.
They can be on other boards.
But a 4-year trustee could run for mayor.
Absolutely.
And
And a mayor could run for trustee, a term limited mayor could run for trustee. So it's that, we just want to make that clear because that is Vegas, it's not the same. Cortez, I don't know what Dolores does, I don't know what Durango does. I don't want to speak to that.
Durango chooses their mayor from their board too.
Well, and we kind of know that, but I don't want to say this is how they do, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I just wanted you guys to be clear on that. And if it gets to the point where we have to solicit letters of interest, you guys will need to direct staff to do that with me.
Yeah.
So that's why we'll need to have to do it.
So if somebody submits an affidavit to be a write-in candidate, then we have to have the election.
No.
No.
You still gotta make it.
Because we-
Because we still
Oh.
have one empty spot.
Got it. Okay.
So if one person does it, we still don't need to host the election, but if say we got 2.
Okay. Then we have to, because then we have too many. Okay.
That's why I wait till that day to officially.
Yeah.
You can also get rid of term limits, but it has to go to an election.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think they're a good idea.
Well, yeah, because that would be up to the board, but because the mayor's a separate office, you kind of could have somebody who really was committed and passionate, and they could just go back and forth.
That's true, they could.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, I think Cindy, you guys have been on the board, and this is, I started here in '08, and I know Cindy really, I remember. So I'm
Yeah.
I've been on the board 16 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be 6 years.
Yeah.
I think since 2004 or 5, with like a 2-year gap or 4-year gap. Yeah. Mhm.
And there should be some meetings for each other.
No, there's no term limit for you.
Anyway, because then I can just flip to another position and come back.
Can I ask a random question? I don't want to derail this, but are there any towns that you know of that have extended the limits beyond their town limits to include eligible voting pools?
One municipality in the state of Colorado, that is the town of Mountain Village, allows non-primary residents to vote in their election, but you must own property in town.
Gotcha, but you could live outside of town.
And they did that because they are primarily on the zone.
Yeah, like they wouldn't have anybody. Yeah,
Yes.
there's 4 people that live there.
We have looked into that at times over the years.
Yeah,
We've consulted with CML.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious because I've heard that a lot from people of like, oh, you know, I do everything it makes, but I live just out of town. You know?
Well, not even, and I researched it, and the reason I know there's one is I was thinking maybe some other home rule municipalities do.
Yeah.
I know statutorily,
Mhm.
So,
but nobody.
nobody. Huh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people get so confused about jurisdictions anyway. I mean, I had people, you know, sign my petition and they don't live in Mancos, but they're like, oh, but I'm in the 81328. I'm like, but you're not.
But I needed
in
to call them out.
town. Yeah, and it's like, so I think it's better if it's just clean at the town line.
Well, and at any time we need to revisit that, but I just personally, as a curious person, look into that every couple of years.
Yeah.
Mountain Village.
Yeah.
And so I called them and was like, why is it just you? It has only been for a really long time, and I was there.
Well, there's a good reason to
Right.
annex more property.
Yeah, taking in more voters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it?
Anybody else announcements?
Nope.
Okay, moving right along to our committee reports. Montezuma County Commissioner report. Gerald, you're up.
First of all, I want to thank you for stepping up. Appreciate it. It's hard to get people to serve on any of these boards. I appreciate it. Good job. We are still, like I reported last month, we're still discussing the possibility of a sales tax for the county. The League of Women Voters are probably going to carry it for us. We haven't made any absolute decisions about the amount or how we're going to go at it. The only thing we can go by is by the tax the hospital district has. Trying to figure out about what that would bring in as far as covering the jail and the sheriff's budget. If we do that, we're going to try to decrease the mill levies on the property owners in order to, because it's probably going to bring in more than what we're putting into the jail and the sheriff right now. We're putting about probably 40% of the general fund budget into the sheriff's department right now. That sales tax, depending on where we set it at, we're hoping to cover that. If it covers that, the money that we have been putting into there, minus the $1 million or so that we're taking out of reserves this year, we're probably going to try to decrease the mills there in order to cut us back down to where for the other 4 or 5 million that would actually come in possibly from the sales tax. We've got to figure all that out before we do. couple other things that are around, I don't know, the Ironwood deal over by Dolores. Basically, they pretty much walked away from it. So how it's all gonna come out, it's kind of hard to tell because the way they set the fines on them, they started fining them so much a week. It started out about $5,000 a week. It jumped it up. When they didn't meet their obligations, the judge jumped it to $25,000 a week for so much time. And when it went past that time, it went to 70-some thousand. Now, don't quote me on those figures because I can't remember exactly how it went, but it got so much. They're just walking away.
Wow.
So the county may end up having to clean that mess up, which is not going to be cheap either. And what to do with it? Basically, we took a lot of it down to the landfill, you know, to make compost and stuff, but we can only take so much down there too. So, not sure how that's going to end up. CDPHE and the county's working together to see where we end up with it. It'll be a drawn out process before we ever get anything done with it now. But I don't know if any of you have been around over there, but they made an agreement with CDPHE that they could spread it out on the ground that's there, and they were supposed to only make it like 4 inches thick. Well, it's about 4 foot thick.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I mean, it's a lot of it's veneer. I mean, it's actually sheets of veneer. It's not just chips. You know.
Oh my gosh.
So it's going to be a mess to clean up. The other thing that's going on, some of you may have noticed that Lake Narragansett Reservoir over there is only so full. It probably won't come up much more than what it is now. We have a leak coming under that shelf rock right there by the ramp. There's a shelf rock between there and the dam. It's going in under that shelf rock and coming out on the lower side over there. It's been there for a long, long time, but it has increased some. So they put a dam restriction on that dam until we get that.
Which one is this? Narragansett.
We put some coloring in right there under that shelf rock, comes right out the other side. I mean, it's going right under that shelf rock. They won't let us do anything with it until we get the engineer's study as to how we can possibly shut it off. So it may not come up any higher than what it is for the next year or so. Just depends on how things go. Other than that, mostly the stuff we've been working on is the budget and we changed some things around our budget over there. We put a lot more of the stuff actually into our IT department, so it's not like out of the sheriff's department, the part that was their part of the IT, we put actually into the IT department. So it looks like the IT department's budget really went up, but all we did was move a bunch of the expenses for software and stuff like that from all the departments into the IT department. So there's several things happen like that. Of course, we're no different than anybody else. Our health insurance went up about 8 or 9% again. So it's costing us like $900 some an employee per month. So it's expensive. All those things have we've changed some things around in the budget, and they're just put in different places. So it made some things look like it changed a lot, but in reality, it's all still there. It's just got put into different departments. So, and that's about all I have to report. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is our student liaison report.
So not a lot is going on in the school right now. We finally started planning for prom and stuff, and the National Honors Society is hosting a blood drive at some point in February at the school. And I think that's all I really have.
Thank you.
So I see in Dolores and Cortez, there's a couple organizations that are doing fundraisers for the prom. Is Mancus Proms being included in those two fundraisers, or is Mancus going to do something like that?
not entirely sure because our prom planning just started. So we're still kind of figuring stuff out.
Can I ask a question or a favor? The town is looking, eventually, the couple of months, we're gonna be submitting a grant for Royal Park to do some upgrades there based on the feedback that you received from the school during the Parks and Trails Master Plan. And we are talking about asking the school to partner with us on some fundraising for the sand volleyball courts, because that was a huge priority for the students. Can you find out who we would talk to at the school, whether it's a student group or a teacher or an advisor or something? Can you maybe find out who that would be and send me an email? And then, because we want the student liaisons involved, but I don't even know who to contact about that, to see if the school and the students are interested, like I said, in partnering on that, because that would really strengthen our grant application with OPO. They depend very heavily, they bring very heavily on community involvement, community priorities, and income and cost sharing and matching. So if you could look into that with me and let me know.
Okay.
And then I'll work with staff and you guys and we'll all kind of get together, but I don't even know where to start at school.
Okay.
Thanks, Tori.
Okay. Next is the Montezuma County Planning Commission. They met the second Thursday of January. I attended that meeting. They only had two things on the agenda that went short and sweet, but none of them were in our 3 mile. We do have 4 coming up in February, and 2 of them are within our 3 mile. 5 mile, 3 mile.
Yeah.
And so she sent that to all of us, so if you guys do have comments, if you'll get back to Heather on those, and then she can let me know so I can present any comments or things that we have, and Jason will be there to do that too, so, that's what's going on there. Region 9.
She's not here.
Tomorrow, okay. CDOT.
Haven't had a meeting. Last time they didn't have a quorum, so.
Okay, and the Town of Mancos Planning Commission, we're talking about that tonight. Resolution 5, our fee in lieu of land, and that's what they discussed at that meeting and made a decision to send to the board, so. Okay, next is our discussion and action items. The first is the public hearing on the Family Dollar beer, wine, liquor license application. So I will go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:30. And I don't see anybody signed up to speak for the public hearing, so I will bring it back to the commission and close the public hearing. So Heather, you want to introduce us, please?
I'm gonna let Jamie introduce it.
Okay.
Family Dollar applied for a beer and wine liquor license. They meet all of our requirements. The marshal's office does not have an issue. They've submitted all their paperwork, done their background. We did have the petitions that we left here at the town hall for people to sign. We did have nobody signed the for, and 2 people did sign the against. Main reasonings was they just didn't want alcohol or alcohol in them. So, yes, they circled their petitions, they didn't have any signatures.
Do we have any comments from the board?
No, I had people talk to me and told them to come to the public hearing.
Guess that didn't.
Comment is no comment.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's no comments, no other questions. I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve the new beer and wine license for Family Dollar Stores of Colorado LLC, conditional upon state approval, and authorize the town clerk treasurer to send the application to the state.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Britt McWhirter and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson to approve the new beer and wine license for Family Dollar Stores of Colorado LLC, conditional upon state approval, and authorize the town clerk treasurer to send the application to the state. Jamie, would you call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee McManus.
Aye.
Trustee Richard Tovar.
Aye.
Trustee Brett McWhirter.
Aye.
Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Okay, next is Resolution 5, Series 2024, the fee in lieu.
Yes, you are required to set this fee every year. And for those of you who are new, major subdivisions in town are required to dedicate 10% of the land in this proposed subdivision, or an appropriate dollar amount, to the town or another entity that the board of trustees approves, schools, libraries, something for public interest. Generally, it's parks, but, and so every year we have to set a fee in lieu of that land dedication, because sometimes maybe the proposed subdivision is in the wrong location, or the town doesn't own the land, or it's not big enough, it's not enough space to do anything decent with. So we will take a fee in lieu of the land. We did a ton of research in 2021, and nothing has changed a lot since then. I know home prices have gone up, but last year I just did a quick phone call to a local realtor, and they're like, nothing worth mentioning has changed. So this was presented to the planning commission at their meeting last week. They are recommending that the current fee, which is $25,000 an acre, remain as is. So that's what we're presenting to you as the resolution, with nothing changing from last year's meeting. So it's up to you all how we act. That is a recommendation. The board has the final authority to, with this resolution, to set that fee. So if you want to make it a different amount, I guess you can. I want you all to be aware that you're filling in this. So if you want to change the $25,000, you're welcome to. If you're not ready to research or whatever, feel free to let us know. If you're happy with it the way it is, then the resolution will need to be approved.
You have a comment?
No, I think that's, things haven't changed too much in the last year, and I remember doing this in 2021 too, so I think we stick with what the recommendation from the planning commission is.
Cindy?
I agree.
Richard?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm good with it too.
Then I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 5, Series 2024. Resolution setting this per acre fee in lieu of dedicated land.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Nick Manning and a second by trustee Britt McWhirter to approve Resolution 5, Series 2024, a resolution setting the per acre fee in lieu of dedicated land. Then would you call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee McManus.
Aye.
Trustee Richard Tovar.
Aye.
Trustee Brett McWhirter.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay, moving right along to J, items for the February 14th, 2024 meeting. We have ordinance to be determined, Series 2024, Empire Electric Franchise Agreement. A resolution to be determined, Series 2024, the 2024 Dispatch Agreement Renewal. The Mutual Aid Omnibus Agreement, and the 422 Grand Avenue final update.
And I do want to ask if there's anything you want me to add to the next agenda based on our next business.
I would like a discussion on that.
You want a discussion item for you all to discuss?
Discussion item on the possibility of making a contribution to their matching grant.
If we get a copy of their.
Yes,
study of the-
yes.
Alright. So you want a discussion and an action item?
Yes,
Yeah.
Possible action item?
possible action item.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything they want to put on there?
Heather, you mentioned the board retreat dates. If there's any way to get dates.
We'll need to wait until we see the new board.
Yeah.
Because we need their input.
It's usually in May.
When-
Sorry.
It's
It's
usually in May.
usually in May or June, and it's usually on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And we start at 9, town provides breakfast, and I can provide lunch if we're still here. And I have provided lunch if we're still here. I will say it's May 14th, I think it's May 14th. Sursa will be here.
Yes.
To do board training, and we're going to
Gotcha.
collaborate with City of Cortez on that for their new trustees.
Oh, sweet.
Sam might will be here.
Yeah.
And that'll be part of, we'll give that information to the new trustees as well, but we schedule that way far out because Sam's hard to get away, and he comes here, so we don't have to go anywhere to pay.
Oh.
So that one, I think that's May 14th, and I'll have more information as closer, but if you guys, those of you returning or staying, if you could pencil that date.
And is it the first meeting in April that we seat the new board, or is it the second?
Well, because there is no election required, we will seat the new board at the first meeting in April.
Okay.
If we end up having an election, it needs to be at the second meeting in April because the canvas isn't complete in time to do it in the first meeting.
And weather's good
And we have
in Mexico in May.
10 days by law to swear in newly electeds. So we have, because we don't have an election and no canvas, I'm so sorry.
10 days. Yeah, 10 days to scare away is what you meant to say.
I totally was like, but yes.
And on the 10th day, you showed up.
JD, we're not reaching out again until Monday, until Tuesday, because technically the Friday deadline is Monday at 5. So we really can't do anything official.
Right.
Until after that.
Have
Technically,
we posted to put in, the write-ins can be in?
For the write-in, no.
I don't know if that's legal, is it? That's not legal, I don't think.
Okay, I just
we can
asked.
post it if we choose to. I do feel that those candidates that picked up petitions and made the effort to circulate them, deserve a little bit of kudos and respect for that.
Preach.
So I said no public outreach for write-in candidates because the board, the new board, that includes the new candidates who made that effort, get to participate in the selection process for legislators.
Yeah.
And I think that's,
Yeah, I agree with that.
you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of that was my decision.
And how much do we save if we don't have the election? Approximately.
We actually, the county is wonderful to us. We spend
Look at this much.
between $4,000 and $7,000 on an election. It really depends on the number of votes cast. Because we pay per ballot and stuff, and we can give you a firm number for that, but it also depends on how many responses.
But $4,000 to $7,000.
$4,000 to $7,000.
Yeah.
Which is better than hosting your own, minimum 15.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
before they start having the extra costs.
Yeah.
Well, the county's wonderful. They are so phenomenal to work with. The clerk's office is amazing.
Yeah. It was real nice when we got this little drop box for our votes, our ballots.
Well, and I would say if and when we ever do have an election in town, it costs nothing.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing a little bit more outreach around future elections. Because you don't even need a state, just drop them off.
Right.
So we'd like to see, what did you say, 800 or 900 registered voters?
860 something registered voters.
250 or 280 responses last time. And it doesn't cost us $1,000.
Yeah, no stamp.
You don't need a stamp, so
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff that, you know, if and when we have an election, we will be
Mhm.
kind of putting that out there. But
Yeah.
so, no, we didn't do a lot of public outreach around the write-in candidate,
Mhm.
but we will absolutely, if we end up soliciting letters of interest, because I do want the new board to have a say in who they appoint, I want them to be able to talk to them and ask them questions and since they're the organization.
So next meeting, can we get an update on the ballot measure that was sent out?
Yes, because the deadline is next Wednesday, so I couldn't be doing it.
Right, but at least get an idea of what people responded as.
Yes.
Okay.
I do have a question, one more thing, sorry, I'll make it united. What would you want me to bring back? Do you want me to bring Make It United back? Do you want me to just bring you some more, like, flesh out what Katie discussed?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that would be the thing that I would want.
So I have a question about that. Didn't we give them money already this year? Did they come in with their one of the nonprofits?
Creative District was, not Make It United.
Yeah.
I will say that also at the next meeting on the next agenda, you will receive a sales tax distribution update to the chamber and the creative district, because we are in our second year of that pilot period, we're giving them a percentage of certain line items in that. And so I'll be bringing an update to you all that says this is what we received in 2023, this is what you all agreed to as a pilot program, and this is what those organizations will be receiving before I cut the check.
Cool.
So that will also be on the next agenda. Okay, so I'll flesh out Make It United and put a staff report on there, and I'll let Katie know she's welcome to attend it.
Yeah,
That's not required.
if she'd like to come, it'd be great to ask her some questions. Because we're kind of limited during audience business of what we can and can't ask anyways.
Do you want to?
I don't want to require her to be here, but I would, if she would so choose to attend, it would be helpful to the board.
And if she can't make it,
Or a
just somebody
representative
else
from-
that is knowledgeable.
Okay, I will do that. Awesome.
Okay. All right, moving right along to item K, executive session to discuss the purchase, acquisition, lease, transfer, or sale of any real personal or other property interest under CRS section 24-6-402 4A, 3 separate properties within town limits owned by 3 different parties. And I would entertain a motion.
I move we go into an executive session to discuss the purchase, acquisition, lease, transfer, or sale of real personal or other property interest under CRS section 24-6-402 4A. And the following additional details are provided for identification purposes. It will be discussion of 3 separate properties within town limits owned by 3 different parties.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson and a second by Trustee Brent McWhorter to go into executive session to discuss the purchase, acquisition, lease, transfer, or sale of any real personal or other property interest under CRS section 24-6-402 4A, 3 separate properties within the town limits owned by 3 different parties. Jamie, would you call the roll?
Mayor Queenie Garth.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee McManus.
Aye.
Trustee Richard Tupar.
Aye.
Trustee Brett McWhorter.
Hey.
Okay, motion carries. Right. Run away.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Elected board members and staff and attorneys.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Well, y'all have a good night.
Yeah, it's like that.
Trust me, Daniel, you'll get your chance.
There is a So you know what, actually, let me send an email to your school email address tomorrow, and we'll figure all this stuff out. Do you want to do that with me on 6/6, or do you want to? Why don't you take it with you?
Are you ready for me to turn this off?
Yes.